My flight, huh? I'll
Your
wait
flight.
for him to join before I
Yeah, we
mention
could
it.
talk about that.
Uh,
Hello?
What's up,
there he
William?
is.
How have you been doing?
Alright. Do I sound alright?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Because I've been having some microphone issues a little bit.
As of right
how's
now,
your
I'd say
new
you're fine.
PC? How's your new PC?
That's awesome.
Nice. Bro, dude, I'm my 8 a.m. linear algebra class. It's not good.
8
Not
a.m.?
enjoyable.
I don't
Daniel, I
think
have a
8
7
a.m.
a.m.
anything.
differential. Daniel, I have a 7 a.m. differential equation class next semester.
Oh,
Yikes.
oh dear God.
Yeah.
Why?
Cause it's the only one available.
That sounds like suffering.
That is certainly one way to put it. Yes, I would I think that is an accurate way to describe it.
I was sad with my course timings, and keep in mind, my earliest class this semester is 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah, that's the earliest class I have at all this semester. It's 3 days a week, but 8 a.m.
Dang.
Ugh,
Yeah, bro. That is a
that is gross and should not be a thing.
yeah, no, bro. It's not too great out here, but it's okay.
Seems like
I'm gonna
it.
survive. I bought 120 coffee pods, so we're gonna make it.
One for each day of class.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So you did ask me earlier, how my flight here was,
Yeah.
and, to make a long story short, it was odd. To actually tell the
Odd.
full
Really
story,
interesting.
there's been a lot of, cold weather, happening, or cold weather storms and stuff happening in the Midwest. So, the day
Yeah,
that I
right,
was
right.
supposed to leave, I woke up and was told, hey, your flight's been delayed, by, a few
Oh,
hours. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll just
okay.
go back to sleep,
It
and then I'll
happened.
wake up a little later, and then we'll go to
Yeah,
the
right.
airport. So I did
Yeah.
that, and then when I woke up again, I was like, oh, the flight's been delayed again. To the point where now, I can't make my connecting flight. So now we have to figure out
Oh.
how to get that to work out. And basically, the airport that I left from, I was supposed to leave at, I want to say, like noon. So I would.
Wait, which one? From here or like your connecting flight?
Leaving from. Going to Dallas, I was supposed to
Right.
leave that airport at like noon, so I would get to Dallas by about 5, their
Right.
time, and then I'd be able to make the second flight at 7, and then make it to, school by about like 10 p.m.
Yeah, okay.
The first flight ended up leaving at 3 p.m., so I was not able to make that second flight. So I spent
Dang,
a
that's
night at
tough.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wait, in
Yes.
an airport hotel?
Yeah. Spent the night at one of the
Okay.
airport hotels close to the Dallas airport. But before getting to the hotel, I was like, okay, connecting flight, I need to pick up my luggage, right? So I waited at the
Yeah.
conveyor belt for an hour.
Hmm.
No, they were actually bringing it the entire way. By the time I got to my hotel room, I got a message that said, hey, your suitcase is at the next airport. So, basically...
So all your stuff got sent all the way to your school airport?
Nope. it went to Chicago because there were no other direct flights, which is why I couldn't make the second one. So I had to wake up the next day, go from Dallas to O'Hare, and then from O'Hare to my school. To the airport next to my school. Yep.
Yeah.
So the 1 day of travel that was supposed to be about like 8-ish hours turned into 2 days of travel after spending, you know, a night at a hotel and probably a collective like 13, 14 hours either on a plane or in the airport. And on the flight from Dallas to O'Hare,
Right.
because I got moved onto that, I didn't have the window seat that I normally get.
Right.
Because I normally grab window seats. So I just started out in the middle. The person who was going to be in the window seat ended up not showing. So I, you know, just made room for the person who was next to me. And that person who was in the aisle seat had a medical emergency.
Oh, dude, what is this, bro? Your flight was like a disaster.
Bro's
So,
living in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
so
You know.
fortunately and unfortunately, due to that medical emergency, we were forced to land sooner than planned. What that meant was that we just flew to O'Hare and landed faster, and we just went through all that a little faster. Downside of that, I was stuck in O'Hare for like an extra hour. I don't know if being in an airport is better than just being on a plane, but
Wait, why were you stuck in the airport for an extra hour? Because it was like the plane
we just
wasn't
landed.
scheduled
They
to like,
landed
be
faster.
there?
Yeah, we landed
Oh,
faster
okay,
because the
okay,
person
I
had a
see.
medical emergency, so we needed to land sooner in order to sort out that medical emergency.
Oh, I got it. So it's like it was all technically like off schedule. So you just chilled in a plane for like an hour.
No, we just sort of made it to the airport and offloaded faster.
Oh,
And
okay. So you were
then-
sitting in an airport
Yeah.
for an hour?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
your luggage wasn't like
Nope.
offloaded or something? Or
It's just the luggage went to O'Hare early, and then it got loaded onto the
Right.
last flight as I was getting there. So I had my backpack the entire time. I got my suitcase at the very end. Realized that I forgot a few things and have asked my parents to help me with that. I think I just forgot like the backup drive for my computer, which isn't the most important thing, but it's kind of important.
well, at least that's easy to like get there, you know? Like you just have to
Yeah, it's just mail.
yeah.
Um,
It's a small thing too.
But yeah, it's not like anything bad really happened, but I was tired from the day of travel anyway, so I fell asleep early and then had to wake up early and then got... It's been weird. My sleep schedule is just so odd right now, because I think I've fallen asleep at 10 p.m. and I've fallen asleep at 4 a.m. On 2 different days this week. Everything's just weird. I'm readjusting. But there has been snow outside.
How's
And
that?
it's been nice. I want to say the coldest it gets is like -5 here right now.
Okay.
-5 Fahrenheit.
Terrible.
I look at things in Celsius, so I'm making the adjustment as well as I can.
Yeah,
and then the
yeah,
highs are
I
still below
remember.
freezing. The highs are still below
Oh,
freezing.
okay. Bro, so it's getting chilly out there, isn't it? Yeah, it's been
Getting
getting
a
kind
little
of chilly
cold.
here too.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
want to
it's
know
been
what I'm
getting a
wearing?
little chilly around here.
Want to
What,
know?
like
It's definitely not sweats.
I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants
Okay.
and longer socks and boots because snow.
Inside this makes sense.
My room is always cold, so I'm almost always wearing the robe that I've brought with me or a sweatshirt. But it's just like, oh yeah, no, it's cold enough where I have to wear earmuffs and a hoodie and sweatpants. Damn.
Poor boy.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm wearing a burly wool coat right now. Just out of
Bro,
comfort.
dude, it's like freaking 50 something here, and I'm like freezing.
I saw my breath. Fun fact, I went outside today.
Yo!
Insane.
Yeah, it's...
But it's raining too. I love this weather. but it doesn't help me stream, so I didn't stream today.
Yeah, you have mostly been playing the finals with people, right, Andrew?
Me and Daniel forever played a bit. I've been trying to level up my other league account, but it's been pretty bad because queuing with some people just it affects like your teammates you get, So I had a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
I got a couple of ADCs with no kills and like a significant amount of deaths multiple times in a row, but
I see.
yeah.
Well, I'm assuming it's mostly been Rocket League, but
I haven't played another game in like a month or so.
yeah, I've basically just been playing one game for about 3 weeks now. Because it very quickly went from, yeah, this is a game series that's been on my backlog, which Xenoblade Chronicles, all 3 of them, have been on my backlog since, I want to say, the 3rd game came out in 2022. So since then, it has been a game series that I've wanted to play. It took me about a month to beat the first game. It took me probably about the same amount of time for me to beat the second game. And it took me about 70 hours in, like, game time to beat it. So, a month out of game, 70 hours in game. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 took me 100 hours, and it took me 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
So...
Wait a second, that's a lot of hours in 2
Yeah. So, my life over the course of those 2 weeks was basically doing exercise, whether it be walking or frisbee,
Okay, at least you're
eating
doing
and
exercise.
sleeping, potentially making dinner, and playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Nice.
That was it. I was doing nothing else. It has... I don't know if it's still an obsession, but it's... I'm so sad I can't really talk about it, and I complained to you about this before, I think. But it's a game series that I cannot recommend to people. First off, the third game is fantastic. Can't recommend it without playing the first 2. The first one is really good. The second one is super polarizing, and I just can't recommend it because all of them are Switch games. So unless you feel like getting a Switch, buying 3 games, and spending about 300 hours of your life beating these 3 games...
Well, Daniel, the thing is like, if I had an infinite amount of money, I would consider doing that.
Would you actually? I feel like,
I don't know, like money is like a big
strong.
factor,
Yeah.
It would definitely take me a while, like, to get through all of it, but
yeah. I think, first off, all 3 games have slightly different combat systems, with all of them being fairly unique in how they work. Because the first one, it's just like, oh, each character has access to 8 different abilities, and they all have different cooldowns and different effects. The third one, the second one, you have 5 different abilities. You can only have 3 of them equipped at a time, and instead of having a cooldown, you need to auto-attack in order to fill up the charge, so then you can actually use them. So the way you cheese it is just by auto-attacking, immediately moving, so that way you cancel the end of the animation and go straight into the next auto-attack.
Oh.
Yeah. How have I min-maxed that game? Anyway. The third game combos them both, but all of them are story-driven games, and the second one is just, like, one of the most ridiculous anime games to exist, because in one of the chapters, you fight a giant robot maid. What am I even saying? This is true. These words don't mean anything. Help me.
Get off the game. Play Rocket League.
No.
But yeah, you just need to take a week break, bro.
I mean,
As
yes.
you said in the group chat, I can stop anytime.
Yes, exactly.
I actually can stop
Really.
at any time. There's nothing, like, if I really wanted to, I could just go ahead and start the next game that I was planning on playing, which is Fire Emblem. The main thing is just like, yeah, there are just a few things that I still want to do in this game, because God damn it, I paid $60 for this game. It has emotionally relaxed me. It's one of the best games that I have played. And it sucks that I can't talk about it because I don't want to spoil anything. And it sucks that I can't talk about it because no one I know has played it. So I've not played multiplayer games very much recently, though.
You could change that. You can hop on the PS4 and join me on NHL 23, and we can take down World Chell.
No.
Is that like 2K kind of, but hockey, Daniel? Is that is that basically what that is?
FIFA is also like 2K but soccer.
Yeah, so because I've never heard. I think you're the only one I know who plays NHL.
Yeah. No, there's not a lot of people. I actually watched the pro league for this game, which is insane that there's a pro league for this game.
Right.
And how much is the prize pool for league?
The prize pool.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
For
it's kinda big.
which part of League? Be a little more
Yeah.
specific.
League of Legends.
Like Worlds, the Worlds prize pool.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with
Yeah.
that.
Okay. The
It
World's
was
prize
the
pool
biggest
for
one ever
2023 was
was-
2.23 million.
Yeah, the
Baby
largest one
numbers.
ever was in 2018. It was 6.45 million.
Okay, so for NHL, the winner gets like 15K.
Like, dang.
Hey, that's
I
better
mean,
than
that's not
Smash. That's a lot
No,
better than
that's
Smash.
not like that's not like no money.
It's not no money, but it's not league or like.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But League has also been around for over a decade.
so
Okay.
as NHL.
Do you want to
it
know what
has?
the largest?
Oh.
Do you want to know what the largest prize pool in Smash history is?
What?
I'm guessing $500,000.
No. The largest prize pool in Smash history was Smash Ultimate Summit 3, and it was $160,000.
Big bands.
Yep. Only 4 tournaments have had prize pools of over 100,000. Smash is not a game that Smash is not a game that has good prize pools, broadly speaking.
Yeah, and for its size, that's kind of shocking.
I mean, it's because Nintendo doesn't endorse competitive Smash. They take it down at any and all opportunity, so...
Forgot about that.
Yeah. It's pretty unfortunate, to be honest. It's...
What have you been doing besides Rocket League, huh?
NHL 23. Ready or Not, which honestly I love that game, but no one, my duo, we tried to record for his channel, but
Yeah.
I don't know how, but he gets bored of games after 20 minutes.
He like me,
I'm
for real.
I'm like, dude, you're trying to make a video because we're gonna have to play for longer than 20 minutes. Unless you're just gonna have it all in there, no cut, no editing, but that's gonna be a boring video.
Even trying to cut down 20 minutes
Yeah.
into an exciting,
It's gonna be like a 3-minute long video, max.
yeah.
Yeah. That
I-
does not sound like
And I might have done a funny moment on him a few times.
Don't people usually take over like 700 or not seven, like a couple of hours of video or something.
Yeah.
For longer length videos, you typically go 2+ hours. Typically.
Like a 25-minute video.
Yeah, that's usually like 2 hours of footage.
Oh god, I think for me it'd be even more. I just... There's
but then
so much
also
that needs to
you
be
aim for the
cut.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, quality and then editing and what you want to do to it.
Yeah. I am planning on getting back into streaming once I'm home for the summer. I guess, like, I'm just gonna kind of get through the semester and figure out if I can study abroad and all that stuff. And then when I'm back during the spring, I'm gonna start planning on how I can either upgrade my current PC or just build a new one potentially, because my PC is old. It's 5 years old at this point. It's lasted a long time, and it's done a great job.
It's not as much the age of your PC. It's more that the parts.
It's the age of the parts.
Inside of it.
It's the age of the parts. Yeah. They're
well,
all
it's like
outdated.
because like you have like a what? You have like a 970, 980 Ti or something, right? Like
yeah. I'm not saying that
like
the
it came
parts...
out in 2015, so that's like
Yeah, the parts themselves are super outdated and old. Not necessarily that the PC itself is crumbling. It's just everything is outdated, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, upgrading it means I can stream more.
Yeah,
hopefully?
building a new one basically. Yeah, the good news is that since the economy is getting a little better, a little bit more economically. Yeah, do you see the stock market? The Nasdaq's at 1500, 300, 15,300.
Been improving for a while. Like, after everything takes a while to actually have an effect. So
Nvidia went up 5% yesterday.
While, like, COVID hit things pretty hard initially, the after effects were just felt for years after, and everything that was done in order to stem that tide and reverse it is finally starting to be noticed now. That's just kind of how things work. It just takes time.
So, like, the economy is, like, finally crawling itself up now.
Yeah.
Like, or at least you're, like, it's becoming more, like, clear that, you know, it's like, like, when you go to the gas pump, it doesn't say $7 a gallon for standard anymore in California.
I don't think it was like that. I wasn't gonna say...
only that was, like, the worst gas station. So, like, in downtown LA, it was like that. But around here, the most I ever saw was, like... Or where we live was, like, high fives, low sixes.
Yeah. Which is still ludicrously expensive, but...
Yes. The most I ever saw was this, like, gas station in Westwood. It was, like... 8 something for Supreme.
Right.
It was like 820, I think.
They have access to public transportation there, right? Or it's walkable over there, right? Surely.
No.
It's not really. I wouldn't really say. It's kind of like not as safe as you hope it would be, you know.
Surely there's public transportation in that area, please.
Surely.
Why did we rip out our public transportation just to put in freeways? Why?
Freeway.
Well, I think, I don't know.
It was not at all smart in the long run. And we can tell because we have to constantly expand our roads and freeways, and by the time we're done doing that, we need to do it again because there are more people on the road. Having public transportation would have been nice. I'm glad we got rid of it. I say, while basically just sitting in my dorm room all day now and just walking everywhere. Okay, well, I was walking everywhere even at home. But that's even more the case now, because I don't have any other options.
Right? I mean, like, walking everywhere is probably not a bad thing, I think.
It's a pretty good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, that does mean walking around in -11 Celsius, or like 12 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
But again, I'm fine, because I just, I just put on the earmuffs and then go outside with sweatpants and I'm good. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't understand fully. Like, I was born and raised in Southern California. Did I just absorb the heat there, and I now just walk around as a furnace so I don't get cold? Is that how that works for me? Why do I not get cold? I want an explanation.
If the sun installed in your stomach.
Yeah, actually.
rotating furnace.
My heating system is just built different, I guess. Because I will... Even when it was starting to get colder, I was like, yeah, this weather is what I like. Still t-shirt and shorts weather when it was like 40s and 50s. And then it finally started hitting the freezing, and it's like, oh, I actually have to put on a hoodie and wear sweatpants now. I'm sure if it were to drop below, or drop to like negative 30 in either way, then I'd really need to start bundling up. Because at that point it just
once
becomes...
you get Canada weather, I have to lock in.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, it is just dangerous to not be more bundled up. But,
yeah. So do you own, like, a winter jacket, Daniel? Out of curiosity.
I don't know if I own, like, a proper winter coat, but I do own, like, one of these sort of puffy insulating jackets. It's not quite a winter coat, but it's just an extra layer to pop on that helps a lot with that. I haven't worn it because I haven't gotten cold enough to, but unless maybe I walked around at night recently, but I don't think that's the case. Anyway, so I forget, what's the weather back where you guys are?
Right now it's pop-up weather.
It's raining actually. So
Hey. It's probably 50s, 60s then, right?
yeah, it got into the 40s the other day, so it's pretty darn cold.
I love that frame of reference so much. The highest I think it has gotten here in some time is 40 degrees. Let me check the weather real quick. Yeah, the warmest it's going to get is this upcoming Wednesday and Friday, and it's going to peak at 41 degrees Fahrenheit.
Peak at 41 degrees. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Today and tomorrow, the low is -2 Fahrenheit. Or -20 Celsius. So there's your little bit of comparison. It does seem to be warming up pretty quickly, though. So that's pretty nice, honestly. Yeah, the weather across the country seems to be pretty consistent.
It's getting pretty cold though.
Yeah, the weather across the country is pretty consistently cold, I guess I should have clarified. Like, everywhere, it's, starting in starting in the northeast, it's like 20, and then as you start going further and further southwest, it gets warmer and warmer. And then you finally hit, like, oh, we're back in a desert, now the highs and lows are 60s and 40s and stuff. Just... yeah. I was not thinking, coming into this podcast, that we were going to have an in-depth discussion about the weather, because that feels so cliche.
Well,
it's like, oh, how's the weather today? That's, like...
How's the weather today?
I mean,
that is the de facto cliche.
We're like, but it's different though because we're like cross like different whatever.
And it's not normal weather right now.
Places. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that...
Because...
It's true.
Yeah, because I play with a bunch of, like, Easterners, like, people that live, like, across the east of the U.S., and it's like, I keep telling them, yeah, it's a little bit cold in my room, it's maybe, like, 50, 60, and they'll be like, yeah, it's about 5 degrees outside. I'm like, okay, buddy, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I live in like one of the hottest states, so good for you that it's cold.
I am doing that to you right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. It's the way they do it, though. I'm gonna punch them.
I mean, I knew coming here that I wanted to go to a place that was colder. Now that I have experienced it, and I have experienced the cold, I'm still assuming that there is always a pretty good chance that it could get colder. So that hasn't, like, escaped me. However, it is... days are starting to get longer. It is going to start warming up. So if this past week is, like, the coldest it's getting, I think I'm good. It seems like I'm fine, honestly. Have I just jinxed myself? Potentially. We'll find out on the next episode.
No more classes. You have been blocked by snow.
Speaking of no classes, did you know? Oh, Daniel Ferrer's or Long Beach's teachers are like going on strike. So like,
oh yeah, I remember mentioning that.
A lot of their like, freaking some of them have like an extra week of break. Like Daniel Ferrer has an extra week of break.
Lucky him.
Sounds awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair,
my boy is low-key lucky.
How many credit hours are you taking this semester, if you know off the top of your head?
19.
Andrew? Okay.
19 for spring.
What the hell is wrong with you, first off?
I mean, I kind of need to. Like, I'm gonna, let me double check that.
How
actually,
many?
For you.
Actually, how many do you need to graduate?
Graduate. Well, technically, I need 24 to transfer.
Okay, and you're taking 19
but it's recommended
this semester.
Yeah, but it's recommended to have at least try to get to 30.
How many did you take last semester?
Let me I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry. My school's they updated their software and it got worse by a lot. Like it's much harder to...
How does that always happen?
It's much harder to navigate now because like to learn it here. Let me tell you.
I don't
okay,
know,
so
man.
That's not right.
I don't
oh, that's why. Okay, so I had nuts. I need to Google
It is weird that updating software seems to always impact it.
I know,
negatively.
it's just because it's hard to... Let me see how many credits this course is. Credits. How does it not tell me how many credits? Sorry, hold on. Anyway, so I had 16 credits first semester, but only 13 are transferable. And then winter I have 7, and then which is right now. Winter goes until February 15th, and then next semester I will have I believe 19. So that will give me pretty good base, I guess, basically. Yeah, it's 3 credits. So I have 19 in the spring. So I'll have 19 plus 7 plus 13. I'll have 39, which is decent. And then I also have 32 AP credits.
Whole bunch of numbers.
So are you trying to transfer by this upcoming fall? Is that your plan?
I'm doing my applications right now, so...
Yeah. I was pretty sure that was the case with how aggressive you were being with the with all that. So that means you're going to be a junior wherever you end up, probably, right? Or in terms of...
so it's kind of like what Adrian has. So Adrian is like technically currently a sophomore if you look at his credits, right?
Yeah.
But he can't be a sophomore because he doesn't meet like the prerequisites or whatever.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
So like it's like sure that I have a lot of big numbers. It's like I have like a lot of big numbers, but like there's specific classes I need to take type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm in the same boat because I do have to take like a certain amount of courses on campus or whatever. and all that. So after this semester, which last semester I took 16 credit hours, this semester I was going to take 17, but I had to drop one of my classes, so I'm down to 14.
That's like reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna pick up another one?
No, because I need to figure out I need to figure out transferring potentially, studying abroad, and I need to just sort a bunch of that sort of thing out. So
I mean, like, that's like 16, like anything above, like, I think around there is full time. Like, I mean, the only reason my number's so high is because I'm doing 2 math classes and a CS lab, so that's why.
Yeah. But yeah,
that 7 a.m. differential equations class is probably gonna,
Yeah.
So.
After this semester, I'm going to be at the like exact hour requirement to be a junior technically. Because I think after this semester I had 56 credit hours, and that's the exact amount I need to be considered a junior in terms of course standing or whatever. So that's a little silly. But most of my courses this semester are like reading. So last semester I took Calc 2 and Comp Sci, so that was a lot of my homework. This semester I still have Comp Sci, but now it's a philosophy course and an English course, and yeah, I was basically almost going to take 4 different English courses, despite them all being technically in different fields, but now it's down to 3 English courses. So it's still a lot of reading, but just a little less. Yeah. And then the other 2 are computer science and chem. So a lot of reading, and then chemistry, which is, I think, I don't know if my chem or my bio is worse, but I couldn't fit physics into my schedule, so that was unfortunate. I wish I could have, but yeah. Taking chem lab this semester, so one of my courses this semester is from 6 to 9 p.m. on Mondays. Yeah.
That's an interesting time frame.
Yep. So, I guess for you guys, I'm busy from 4 to 7 on Mondays. But that's my schedule. Aside from my Mondays and Wednesdays, I am usually free. Occasionally I will have a long chem test on Thursdays.
I think it's better to have like more loaded days. You know what I mean? Like, like my Tuesdays and Thursdays are like really light, and my Mondays and Wednesdays are like I'm gonna want to jump off of a cliff.
That's fairly similar to what my schedule's like. I have usually 1 class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the 2 shortest classes on Fridays, and then my Mondays and Wednesdays are 3 classes on Mondays, but one of them is 3 hours long, and 4 classes on Wednesdays. All of them are an hour long, so
that is quite the number.
Yeah. But on the plus side, I mean, again, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 1 class, Fridays, 2 classes that are an hour each, so it works out pretty well.
It balances out, you know?
Yeah. God, you were taking...
As long as there's balance, I think it does matter.
Yeah. Gonna potentially try to go to the gym. I need to figure out how to do anything first before I start going. But if I can learn how to use the machines, then I'm fine with going. That's the only thing holding me back right now, really. It's just, I am clueless as to how to operate anything there. So...
yeah, no, that's a big thing. Like, if you gotta find someone to, like, teach you kind of thing, or, like, you know what I mean? Or you gotta, like, watch a lot of YouTube before you go type of thing, so you kind of, know what to expect when you get...
Sulk, Sulek, or however you say it.
Oh, yeah, it's that guy.
That's what I did. never went to the gym, but I learned a little bit from him.
Yeah. There are a few people on this floor who I know go occasionally, so I'm, and also one person who I was on the Overwatch team with last semester. He works at the rock wall here, so I am considering just asking him, like, hey, when do you work, so I can figure out when to definitely not show up, and definitely not ask you how to do this, so I can figure it out, because as much as I don't like heights, it still seems like fun to rock climb.
Mm.
And you're in a controlled area, so
Yeah, everything is inside and insulated really well, so that's always nice.
Are the mats
got
like
it.
TwitchCon though?
Don't think so. I think they're better than that.
We can only hope.
I mean, there's still a very real chance of getting injured, but surely I'll be fine, right?
Surely.
I think everything will work out just fine for me.
Sure, you sure hope so.
Yeah. I haven't even done anything yet, though, other than play Ultimate Frisbee in the gym, because flying it outside in this weather is rough, because it's not just that it's cold, which makes it hard to hold things, but wind is also a major factor here, and
wind makes things very cold.
Wind is straight up worse to play Ultimate Frisbee in than rain, because wind impacts throwing the disc so much more.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that it gets colder, it's also that.
Yep, you figured it out. Discs are fairly lightweight, and they're discs, which means it makes it really easy for the wind to affect it, because it is not dense, big surface area.
Like
I don't know how much more I need to explain. But
Oh, the Frisbee or two in my lifetime.
Is it like warm inside? At least so like how hot warm is like your dorm? Like
my dorm room? Yeah, I think it's been a consistent like 66 since I got here.
Bro, that's crazy. See, because I'd be freezing like crazy in 66. My house is like 71 and I'm so cold.
Oh, I have my hoodie on right now with the sleeves rolled up. I'm fine.
Yeah. It sounds pretty cold over there.
What do you mean? Everything's perfectly fine here. There's...
Wait, Daniel, if you should like, so do you use like a you should, instead of a refrigerator, you should just leave your stuff outside.
No. I'd rather not have my my water bottles explode because of water expanding as it turns into ice.
When your refrigerators have to keep your food warmer instead of colder.
I don't even have that much food.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right, huh? You don't cook a lot, or you can't, right?
Yeah, I can't cook a lot. Yesterday I went out and got Chick-fil-A, and
Nice.
when I did that before coming home, I got a terrible stomachache that night. So I was hoping to not repeat the same experience. Fortunately, I didn't. But I didn't exactly feel great either. So now I'm thinking, do I just not like greasy foods anymore? Like, can I just not eat that much?
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean,
He's going vegan.
Is this what getting older is like? That sucks.
He's going vegan.
No.
Nah, bro, definitely not.
I literally couldn't if I wanted to, because I simply enjoy the taste of... First off, you can do so much with chicken, just as a meat. You can season it in so many different ways, or prepare it in a lot of different ways. So, already on thin ice. And then I'd also have to give up fish. Pescatarian, I think, is the furthest I could go, but even then...
Yeah, I don't think I could live as a vegan. I eat so much beef, or like ground beef and stuff, because our family, or pork and chicken, like...
Oh, you just reminded me of when I last went to Korean barbecue and I got, what was it?
Yes.
The
All you
like,
can eat Korean barbecue.
the ribeye and stuff, and it's just, oh, it's so good. It's so
Yes,
good.
Fun, bro. Me and like like some of my friends, like we like made like beef bulgogi. It was so funny because we didn't know what we were doing at all. We were just throwing things together in a bag, and it worked out well.
Oh, was this during or was this the time when you guys all went up to the cabin?
No, no, no. That was when Brandon like made like Mexican food, and then I made curry the next day.
Got it. Did it turn
Yeah.
out okay?
Yeah, it was like pretty good. Yeah, surprisingly, Brandon actually does know what he's doing when he's cooking.
That actually doesn't surprise me that much.
I know, I was kind of surprised that he didn't burn down the house, but I wasn't too surprised that it tasted. Dude, his beans looked like little concrete, but they were actually S tier. Like, they tasted so good. Like, it was actually crazy.
Huh. I'm just not that much of a bean guy.
Fair enough.
I like green beans, but it's something about mushy foods usually. Just
Yeah, usually I'm not either, but like his beans like were actually like addicting, bro. Like it was crazy.
Damn, sounds great actually.
Yeah.
I was chefing it up the other day.
Yeah? Where were you chefing
I made
up?
a tuna fish sandwich.
Hey! Did you like... Did you make the bread yourself?
I molded the bread myself. I went to the forge. I fished up the tuna. I went out to the ocean. And then I ate it.
Alright, yeah.
It was yummy.
No, the extent of my chefing capabilities have been opening up the drawer, grabbing a Cliff Bar, opening it, eating it.
That's fine dining right there.
Yup.
I also indulge in the Cliff Bar every now and then.
Yeah. A large part of it is, I think... so much stuff has actually happened this past week, it's weird. I want to say Thursday, maybe Friday, there was a water leak. So they had to shut down the water in 4 different buildings, and the dining hall in this building was closed. So that was fun. I love not being able to have access to water. That's
Dude,
awesome.
That's pretty bad. That's not good. I would say that's not good.
Yeah. Okay, it was Thursday because I also went over to the gym to play Ultimate that day. Inside the buildings, it's usually pretty warm. It's usually closer to 70. Dorm rooms specifically seem to be colder, and I don't totally know why. But it helps me for sleeping because I then get to bundle up and then wake up hot and sweaty because I overheat way too easily.
So do you like not use that many blankets at night then? I'm guessing.
Let's see. I have like the comforter. I have one small blanket that usually just goes around my arm because it's a baby blanket that I just keep with me. So it's usually just on my shoulder that's sticking out depending on the side that I sleep on. And then I use my robe as a blanket at night. And that's it.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. I think I would have to use like so many blankets if I was up where you live.
Yeah, sometimes I get hot even with that, so I'll stick my leg out though.
Oh.
So, yeah, falling asleep is usually a case of, oh, I'm too warm now. I need to cool myself off.
Oh,
What's
really?
the best?
Dang,
Yeah.
I cannot sleep if I'm like too warm, so or if I'm too warm, so like whenever I get too hot, I can't sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the same thing with everyone. It's, for me, it's just a lot easier to fall asleep when cold, because as I think we've made it clear this episode, I do not get cold normally.
Yes. Yeah, I think it would take like usually back here. I don't think you will ever wore like a sweatshirt or anything.
I did a lot sophomore year of high school because I was
Oh,
self-conscious about my weight. It
that
I
was
literally
but that was over COVID, so we
yep.
barely like saw each other.
Yeah. So it timed out really well for me. Um I yeah. Uh what was it? I think walking back from like volleyball games, because after riding the bus home from a volleyball game, I'd just walk home at night, and everyone would be like, "Oh, aren't you cold because it's 50
Yeah.
degrees?" No, no, I'm not. I'm walking. I'm moving. I have my furnace heating up. I'm gonna be fine. My internal furnace is starting to go to work.
Yes, sir. That's crazy. I still think that's crazy.
It makes sense, or rather, it doesn't make sense. So I agree with you. Uh, I I get it from my dad, probably, but I don't know how that works when it comes to genetics.
Hmm.
Because
Neither
my
do
dad is
I.
the same way. But what sort of, like, mutation causes that? Or are we just built different, not genetically, but through some other means? I could not tell you.
I don't know either, to be honest.
And of course, we also have in the call the man who always wears a sweatshirt even when it's fucking 80 degrees.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I wore a sweats and a really big jacket when it was like 108 once.
So did you just absorb the cold and I absorbed the heat? Is that how this worked?
I don't know. I think I've always been because sometimes it's just comfy, right? I'm not like cold,
Yeah.
but I still have my like long like pajamas on and like a woolly jacket. But it's like it's
Yeah.
because it's the nice comfy like wool. I'm like I'm vibing. I'm in my chair. My Philadelphia Flyers team can't like defensively play, so I'm getting a little upset. But I'm
Oh.
that makes me even more warm, because my blood is boiling.
I get that. My room
Funny.
at home is the warmest in the house because first off, center of the house, so a lot of insulation already. Secondly, no air circulation, so no AC gets in there. And third, I'm in there, and so is my PC. So my room is probably a good 10 degrees warmer than the coldest room in the house.
Yeah, see, we have a similar thing where in the summer where it gets really hot, so half of our some part of our house is like significantly warmer because of like the air ducts aren't as large over there. So,
Yeah. But, like, even in, despite the fact that I do not like getting warm, I will usually just wear my robe because it is fuzzy and comfy and I like feeling comfy and fuzzy. So I understand
mhm.
that a lot. I just can't apply that to, uh, like, actually doing things or being outside. Because even if it's, like, 68 degrees, which is a fairly
Yeah.
neutral temperature, if the sun is on my back and I can feel it, I will overheat. I
Yeah.
So it works in my room because there's no sun to warm me up too. But as soon as I'm moving around or there's some other thing that makes me feel warmer, I then have to start cooling off fast.
Mm,
A little bit of an insight
yeah.
into me, I guess.
Mm, I could not honestly. I cannot deal with. Hold on, give me a second. Someone's at the door.
So how are you doing?
I just lost in shootout OT.
Mm.
Because my defensive team does not exist. So the opponents can just walk in and shoot freely because
Mhm.
my overall is low enough to where they aim where I'm not covering and they goes in. Doesn't matter if I am close enough to save it, it just gets past me.
Got it.
But speaking of reading, to bring up a earlier topic, I found a app called what's it called? Let's see. It's like read something. Let me see. I don't care about my iCloud. Headway. That's what it's called. It's called Headway. And it's essentially like to eliminate scrolling on like TikTok, or if you're a GigaChad Reels user like I am. It's supposed to stop you going there, and you learn like facts or something for like 15 minutes, or you can read like summaries of books, which I thought was pretty cool.
That does actually sound really good.
Alright, I'm back. It's a family friend that forgot was coming over, so had to come say hi.
There are plenty of times where I will either open up, I'll just click on one YouTube short, and then I scroll for a little bit, and then I'm just like, oh, what the am I doing? Let me go back to the video that I actually wanted to watch, because this just isn't...
Oh, dude,
this just isn't anymore. Usually it only takes me about 5 minutes to be like, 5 minutes max to be, nope, I'm done. Sometimes it will go on for longer, but usually it's a pretty fast thing now, which I am fairly happy about. But that app definitely sounds useful. The only issue for me then becomes the other thing that I will do is I will open up the two worst apps in existence, the Readite and the Twitter. And I will... Usually, it's just because I'm doing something else too, so I'll open up either of them when I'm in queue for League, or, gotta get into the League mindset, open up Twitter, same thing. The worst mindset imaginable, but it's almost always stuff like that, and then I'll scroll for a little bit, and then I'm like, why am I doing this? This is pointless, meaningless, and I do not care. And then I shut it off. And that is becoming a faster and faster thing, which I'd say is a good thing overall.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah. So I would like that app to exist on the desktop, but instead of it opening up to random facts, I would like it to just open up to, like... Or instead of opening up because of TikTok and Instagram Reels, I would like it to open up instead of Reddit and Twitter. That's what I want.
Well, what you can do is you could, like, never open up Reddit or Twitter.
I agree.
Yeah,
I might just have to ban those.
I do have Reddit, but I do not use Twitter.
I don't have a Reddit account. I go to, like, 2 very specific subreddits, because one of them is literally just a competitive Pokemon subreddit that has really dumb stuff occasionally, like, how exactly do I put this? It has, like, some created fake mons, so it's just like, oh, how would this be competitively? Or just really dumb Pokemon memes. So, Vest Assault, it's just a dumb subreddit that occasionally has good stuff. And then the other one is just comics. I don't think it's the actual comic subreddit, but it's just a bunch of stuff like that. I used to doom scroll on other ones, and then I was like, no, this negatively impacts my mental health. Stop it. And then I did.
And then you opened up Twitter.
Yes, but now
Twitter is
you wanna know what it's curated to? I will show you what it is curated to. I don't totally know how this happened, but it's almost all like look at what it is.
Texans. What about them Texans?
I have no idea what this is. This is just what's happening. But it's just Pokemon, VTuber, VTuber. So
I wonder why.
yeah, I have no idea what it could be.
How did that get there?
I wonder what it. I wonder.
Funny Fins just got online.
I want.
Onto what? Online to what?
PlayStation.
Oh.
I wonder who I.
I made that like a month or so ago, and I have not been on since.
I just scrolled down and I saw MatPat, and now I'm sad.
Now I am ecstatic.
Dude, he was quite literally one of the largest portions of my childhood. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm gonna consider like 5th grade and up to be my childhood. I mean, I was a FNAF kid, so I think that's really all you need to know about why I consider him to be a large part of my childhood.
It's just a theory.
But hey, that's just a podcast. The Neetwork Podcast. Thank you for listening. We've hit an hour.
Oh, bye-bye.
Yeah, we're not ending on that. I guess for those of you who don't know and who don't care, congrats. For those of you who don't know but do care, a bunch of popular YouTubers who have been going at it for a while are quitting because they're burnt out, and they're not even quitting full time. They're just not uploading as often, or they're not being the face of the channels or whatever. It's stuff like that.
They're tapering it off, right?
Yeah. So for MatPat, it's just like, yeah, he's still there, but he's not gonna be the one to record every theory or worry about finances or all that stuff. He's just gonna be there at the meetings to be like, good ideas, and I'm doing my own things, such as creating my own lore lo-fi channel. I think that's actually what he said. He was making a lore-fi channel.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all that I really have to say on that briefly.
Speaking of retweets and Twitter, my gaming childhood hero is retiring from pro play.
Oh.
These squishy muffins, the guy that got me into Rocket League, besides someone on IRL, he's quitting because they're. I think I always rant every time we've started the podcast. I've always had a rant for the game. I won't bore you guys with it this time, but they messed up more things.
Okay.
Oh.
So the usual then.
the usual, but on a more extreme level, because now people aren't getting contracts. Casters aren't going to come back. Four pros are retiring at least.
Heck?
One unannounced, but 3 have announced it. And there's the and him now, so
okay, no,
dang,
it's
been really awesome
the
lately.
game is just kind of I know.
Yeah.
Okay, he is one of. I think I just remember you and Jack talking about him because I recognize the name. I also remember. I'm going to say the Musty Flick. Because you guys would also talk about that occasionally. It's just like I
what about
have
the Musty
no
Flick?
idea.
What's up with the Musty Flick though?
I don't know. That was just something you guys would say, and I'd be clueless because I had no idea what Rocket League really was.
Nah, it's just a type of flick in the game. That's all that. That's all that is.
Okay.
So a flick is, for those who don't play, is when you have the ball on your car and you move your car like to pop the ball off of it. Hold on. Oh man. If I boot up the game right now, I can show it better. Gonna be a second.
I don't know if we're just kind of entering a little bit of a lull in games.
Yeah.
But most...
I think it's like, because like Starfield 2 came out, and it was like a complete like troll. You know, or not troll, like it. Starfield. You know,
Oh, I thought you said 2, Starfield 2. I was like, oh, what? They already made a second.
That confused me too.
No. No. Oh yeah, I meant like TOO, but like, it basically, I think it flopped. I'm pretty sure.
It majorly flopped.
I mean, a lot of people picked it up. It's just very not... On the whole, it wasn't received well because it's a Bethesda game, and they haven't changed the way they've made their games in the past 20 years. And while it was incredibly cool and new at the time, it isn't now, and that's not great for them. But, I mean, when it comes to multiplayer games specifically, it kind of just feels like all of the live-action service games are being bled dry. Like, they're trying to add new things, but balance of the game matters a lot, so they can't try to make a bunch of new stuff. So, yeah, maybe I'm just overreacting or whatever, but it kind of feels like all the major live service are going to slowly fade out at this point. Because, I mean, all of the new players are going to end up growing up with Fortnite, probably, which just continues to expand and reach out into every... Yeah, Fortnite isn't even a game anymore. It is similar to Minecraft, where it is an entity that touches everything and will be connected to everything. Yeah, it is. I know, dude, Fortnite is the Disney of video games.
For real. No, they actually have Disney stuff in it too. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
Disney has not been doing too well lately either.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to come up with anything, or many new ideas, if I had to take a guess, are being squashed because it's unknown as to whether or not they will be profitable. But continuing to turn out the same thing, everyone's gotten tired of. So they need to start taking risks, but they won't because that might not be profitable. So they're going to end up going for the safer play of just churning out the same thing, but it's still not going to be great anyway. It's just...
Yeah, like the Snow White movie, like that thing, that was a complete, like, I'm pretty sure that movie was pretty bad.
I have no clue.
I have no idea about movies either. All I can really say more specifically for video games is just new things, please. This is why single-player games are great. There were so many good single-player games that came out last year, such as, but not limited to... Am I just going to pull up the entire list? Because Alan Wake 2 came out last year. Fire Emblem Engage, Resident Evil 4 Remake, that came out last year. And while it's a remake, it's Resident Evil. I think that's a fair thing to put on there. Baldur's Gate 3 came out last year. Tears of the Kingdom came out last year. Spider-Man 2, Jedi Survivor, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Even, you know, Starfield, which was mixed, came out last year. Metroid Prime Remastered. Cyberpunk got a DLC, which was
Liberty
something.
City, was it?
Yeah. Like, there were a lot of really good games that came out last year. But almost all of them were single player. So I don't exactly know what's happening when it comes to video games, but all of the new games that companies seem to be vying for seem to be the same sort of slop, where it's just sci-fi shooter. Or, because where else are you gonna go? Are you gonna
go... The finals is like a little different, I think, but it's like it's the community immediately downhill. You know what I mean? Everybody complains too much about everything, because like the game's only been out for like a couple months, right? But it's like bro, like There's some balance issues in it for sure.
Yeah.
Guess so.
I don't really know if there's going to be a bunch of... I do think that competitive, like, modes are
Yeah.
probably the root cause of a lot of it. And not just competitive modes themselves, but the fact that the way to unlock competitive modes is almost entirely locked behind just playing the game a lot, rather than
Yeah, exactly.
trying to foster a positive community. Which I know it makes sense to reward experience for competitiveness, but that's how you often get into the foster community mindset of playing the game a lot on your own and being mad at everyone else is rewarded because you just want to grind anyway. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass right now and just kind of harping on the fact that I am very clearly becoming less competitive as time goes on and just more for fun. But no multiplayer game really seems to get my interest right now, and it just seems to be frustrating, and I just kind of want to talk to friends and chill when playing multiplayer games now. I don't know.
That's like, I mean, as a as a mainly competitive player, like, I see. Okay, so what Siege is doing is wrong, but that's besides the point. They just keep raising and raising the level required to hit the rank threshold. When I started playing, it was like level 10, level 15. Now it's level 50, and there's like rumors that you have to be like level 70 to play ranked. But it's like...
Wait, so have you been playing a lot of Siege too, or no?
No, I did before, I guess you could say winter break happened. But now it's just, grinding Carball.
Nice.
I've like shot up in the ranks like a lot faster than I have in the past, so it's like I want to continue the grind. Because usually, like, you're watching the stream, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm at 1670 right now, which it would take me like an extra like at least 2 weeks to get to like 1630 and like consistently staying there. But since I started the rank season when it first came out, but then I had to travel, so I couldn't play. But then when I got back, like, everyone I've played so far has just been like not the best players, so I've been kind of getting free wins.
Oh.
Not free, but like, it's helped my
climb.
confidence in the game. Helped the climb. Because as soon as I hit like 1690s, I think it's gonna get actually difficult.
I see.
Because then I have the opportunity to play with like mid-level GC3s, which is at like 1750s, I believe. So, and since the ranked queue is like honestly horrible, like in the game right now, there's to get to GC, right, you have to go through bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, and through champ, but there's a little bubble within champ, like mid to high champ, that is just full of XGCs that just somehow can't get back to there. And a lot of like champs, like real champ players that like are facing these XGCs and that are losing and they keep going down, and then they hit diamond and they're like, they get the free wins because half the diamond players, like can't hit the ball, or like all of a sudden they're like X champs, or even maybe like really old GCs that are just coming back to the game that like just dominate everyone. And it's like, because a lot of pretty much everyone else I play with is like stuck in the champ, like the ranks of champ, and it's like, it's extremely hard to get to Grand Champ right now. And I'm like, that's why I kind of create the series Road to GC, because I try to show, like, as a higher level player, how to get around the issues that ranked holds, especially like twos.
How you get through the bottleneck in the ranks.
Yeah, so I can, like, in that little bubble of like Champ 2, Champ 3, how I get around the either better players or like the real champs that are there. And it's like, because I have a lot more game knowledge and a lot more, typically a lot more mechanics than these champs have, and it's like, well, do this, do that, look out for this, look out for that, and that's all I can do, because, you know, I'm not babysitting them in game, so it's like, I can't say, oh, actually, instead of challenging this way, challenge that way, because I can't see them.
Oh yeah. Well, the ranked dilemma.
But as soon as you get out of like GC1, it's pretty chill. Everyone plays the same, mostly. All it does is just get faster.
Yeah, I think that's the case across every like major game. Once you get, like, the difference between ranks is usually how fast the game ends up playing. Because at lower ranks, people are less skilled and slower, and they don't know how to control everything correctly, whereas the higher up you go, windows of opportunity get smaller and smaller, so actually being able to capitalize them is rewarded more and more. Stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's this also, like, I hate this stigma about this game, but everyone's like, age matters, where it's like, yeah, a 24-year-old isn't gonna, like, 24-year-old pro isn't gonna beat a 17-year-old pro. Like, that's so stupid. Like, I hate that about this game, where it's like, because there was a guy in my comment section, I was like, or no, my stream the other day, it was like, I'm 26 or whatever, and, you know, it's hard to control the car, and I'm like, don't let that influence you. Play your game, and if you just can't keep up, then maybe you're just not at the rank that you should be right now, and that in a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, you can, you know, stay put and hold your own. Because there's these, like, phenoms, like, every 2 months, it feels like. Like, there's this new, like, MENA Middle Eastern guy that's like, well, he's not a guy, he's a kid. That's like one of the best mechanics we've ever seen, and like, he should be pro. He can be pro now because they lowered the age to 13. So there's a bunch of new NA players, there's a few EU players, and there's mainly a lot of Middle Eastern players that are like popping off right now in 1v1 show matches. They're like, these guys should be signed soon.
Again, I think that happens across a lot of different games, though, and that's not because the younger kids are younger and thus are, you know, faster to respond to things because, you know, everything is working correctly. I think that's more so because they grow up with the, you know, techniques and mechanics. Like, they grow up knowing how the game is played optimally already, rather than having to figure that out. So they then just get to iterate on that more and more. So it's not that they're younger, so it's harder to keep up necessarily. It's they grew up knowing these things, and now, you know, they're just better because they have more practice with this and have been able to go further. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do see where, yeah, you are right to complain about the age. You are right to complain about that age thing, because... Yeah,
I do see both sides of it, though. Where it's like, yeah, younger people typically have a faster reaction time, but in the game of Rocket League, it's not always reaction time. It may be Siege or like Val or something. Maybe that's reaction time. But if you're in the right spot at the right time, CS. Like, if you're in the right place at the right time for Rocket League, it doesn't matter if you're 13, if you're 46. as long as you can hit the ball when you need to, and you're in the right position to, you know, help out on defense or help out on attack, it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
And that's the part of the community that I hate the most, is the people that are like, yeah, because best player in the world right now is like 16, 17. Everyone's like, if you're not like at least 20 going into pro or LCS, it's chalk for you. I'm like, you're stupid. You're the most idiotic person I've ever seen.
Yeah. Physical peak being responsible for, like, I think that's the case across not even just video games, but also like professional sports as a whole. It's like, oh, I can't believe how old this player is. They're like 25 or 26, and it's just like, what? What do you mean this player is old? They are young. I guess, sure, relatively to many of the new players around them, they're old, but I mean, Tom Brady's still going at 40 or whatever. It's
my favorite.
It is very possible. It is very possible to be older and still compete. That is more so the point that I think you are trying to get across. So
yeah, my favorite argument for it is in hockey, right? Very physically demanding sport, right?
Yeah.
My favorite player of all time, Sidney Crosby, 36 years old. He's on track for one of his record seasons, and right, he's 36. He's on track to beat his rookie season numbers, like, when he's, 16 or 18 years older? Like, that's insane. And the other, like, side of it is one of the all-time legends of the game, Gordie Howe, played until he was, like, 51. The game was also different back then, but, like, he played until he was 51.
Yeah. So, guys, if there's anything that you can take away from this, make sure...
Age does not matter.
Make sure that you take away that you can compete if you really want to, and don't let things hold you back. Age may just be a number, but so is jail time in years. So... that's my favorite. That's my favorite counter to that. It's like, yeah, sure, age is just a number. Okay, so is jail time. Go ahead, do it. Enjoy jail. Don't do it.
Have a fun time.
Yeah. Do you guys want to end it here? Because I feel like we've kind of...
This is a good one.
We've hit a lull in the conversation. We could probably keep going, but at the same time, I'm...
Yeah. I gotta do some quick assignments today, too.
Alright.
Dude, I do not... I low-key, having an async class is kind of crazy because you forget that you have stuff due for it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, if we don't have anything else to say. We didn't come in here with any topics other than just I knew that I was going to talk about my travel.
Yeah,
we did.
The weather.
And then we ended up talking about the weather and then video games, because we always talk about video games.
As usual.
Yeah.
The classic. Can't skip out on the classics, you know?
Yeah, I can't skip on those.
But yeah, we all hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Neetwork Podcast, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.